Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Finance Friday video. This is going to be our February financial reset, which, oh my gosh, I have not done a reset in a hot second. So I'm so sorry for all of that. Like the last few months have been crazy. December was so crazy. January is so crazy. It's already February of 2026. Time is a construct and is going by so quickly. So I am so sorry for being late for this video. If you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Brooke. I'm 29 years old. I live in North Carolina. I'm married, and on my channel, I do lifestyle vlogs and personal finance content. So if you like that kind of stuff, please subscribe. Thank you again to helping me get to 500 subscribers. We are halfway to my goal of 1K by my 30th birthday. So if you want to be a part of getting me to that goal, please share my channel. I would love that. Today, we are going to look at how January went, and then we are going to look at our February budget. So go ahead and grab a fun drink. I am doing a sparkling water, and let's go ahead and get into the numbers. A quick caveat before we go into this, my husband and I do combine our finances, and the numbers that you see for income are going to be our after-tax dollars. So all of this money is after 401k contributions, taxes, and insurance. So I expected us to make a little bit less than we actually did. And the reason why is because in January, things get reset. The taxes are different. You never know what is going to be changed, if our state taxes go down, if they go up or anything like that. So I always try to budget a little bit low, which is good because we had quite a bit of overspending this month, as you will see. So we actually brought in a total of $11,882 from our W-2 jobs, and then we had some money come in. We actually got some money from a settlement that I was a part of. It was like a class action one about a data breach, so we got a payout there. We also had a rollover from December of $200, and we made $122.68 of interest in our high yield savings account. So we had over $12,000 to work with, which again, great because we definitely spent quite a bit of money. So let's go over to our fixed bills. Our fixed bills are actually fairly low, and I'm very lucky that they are. So our mortgage is $1,124.33. This includes escrow, and so this is higher than what we had to budget last year each month because we had an escrow shortage. I paid the escrow shortage in December, and then this was our new rate after they recalculated everything. So now we're paying $1,124.33. And I honestly think that's pretty good. I know some people have like super high mortgages, so I'm really lucky about that. And our mortgage rate is only 2.99%. We also have Wi-Fi for $70. This is Google Fiber. I love it. $70 has been the rate for the past 3 years. They haven't gone up. Water was actually under what I originally thought. It was $43.39, so that was good. Electric, we are on budget billing for our electricity, and so this is our new rate after they recalculated things, and I had to pay extra in December for that as well, and that was recalculated to be $112. I hope that that's enough, but it has been very cold these past few weeks, and we had snowstorm and we had an ice storm, and all of our heating is on electricity. Our hot water heater uses electricity, so we don't have anything that uses like gas or anything like that. So our electricity bill is going to be really high because that's what we use to run our house. Our phone bills are $50. We have Visible, and that is $25 a piece for their basic plan. Our security is Simply Safe, and we pay $32.99 for our 24/7 monitoring. And then for our pest control, that was $134.86. And the reason why this is much higher than what it used to be is because we did add on a mole service because we do have moles in our yard. We're trying to get rid of them. Our total fixed bills was $1,567.57. So not too bad. Less than $1,600. This is usually what I budget for. All right, now let's look at our expenses, and you will see a lot of red here. So let's talk through what we did. So first of all, groceries and household was actually under $494.76, and I'm not sure exactly why this was under. I think we went to the grocery store at a normal rate, and we did have some bigger grocery hauls because of the snow and everything like that. But this was still under my budget of $630, so I'm not mad about that, but we overspent in tons of other categories. So I think we bought a good amount of staples in December, so we didn't have to buy those in January. For gas and transportation, we're a little bit over here, and this overage was because we paid for parking at the airport, and that parking was about $40. So that was a little bit over what we usually spend on just gas itself. Giving, we are Christians, and we do believe in giving to our church and to other charitable organizations in our communities. And so I just blocked that out for privacy purposes. For therapy, we did set aside $100 for a monthly couples counseling service. For gyms and subs, we're actually $1.90 under here, so I think I need to fix this for February, which I will do. But this includes our gym memberships to Planet Fitness, and it also includes Spotify, Netflix, and HP Instant Ink. That's for our printer. We have to use that. Pause for the cause. I have a phone call coming in. Yeah, I went outside and checked how big the crack was, and it's big enough that I have to replace the whole windshield. Okay, so total would be $1,064.84. Okay, I'm gonna press pay at my appointment, so I'll pay next Monday. So then I can move around funds and stuff. Being an adult sucks. Okay, we got you scheduled. All right, where were we? Oh my gosh, that was crazy. TLDR, I have to get my windshield replaced. So that's very fun. Huge crack. Got to do that. But let's talk about our personal spending here. So I spent a little bit over, and my husband also spent a little bit over. However, I spent way more than $270 over. Because I did buy BTS tickets. If you have heard the news, I'm going to see BTS in August, and my sister got the tickets, and so that money actually came out of my sinking fund, and I actually owe money back to my sinking fund for that. And our guilt-free spending, we spent quite a bit over here as well. And I think that was just because I didn't plan properly for our vacation in Boston. Everything's just more expensive in Boston. Like, it's just a very expensive city, and yeah, this was like even just like taking public transportation. We tried to like, not buy too crazy foods and stuff like that. And I think it was the afternoon tea was quite expensive, but that was like a fun little thing that I wanted to do. But yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. We could have like got some money out of the fund, but we didn't. Totally okay. Miscellaneous was $39.12. Can't even remember what that was. Again, I'm so bad about remembering what the miscellaneous stuff is. And then in the home, $765. Why did we spend $765 in the home category that I don't even usually have on my budget? And I just added it here. We had to get a bunch of stuff for the snowstorm that they said was going to make us have no power for 3 weeks. And so we bought the space heaters. We got a whole propane tank. We got like a 20-pound propane tank. We filled that up with propane. We also got 2 1-pound tanks to be used with our portable heaters. So we spent a lot on winter preparation. And then additionally, we bought a Le Creuset Dutch oven, and I am very excited about that purchase. It's so pretty. I will put a picture up on the screen of it, but that was definitely not my finest moment. It was a splurge. When we went to the macaron making class, during the class time, they give you like a little bit of break so that you can go and browse the store, because obviously they want you to buy stuff while you're there at your cooking class. And so I was like, oh, let's just check out the clearance. Let's just see what's on the clearance, okay? Because like all the clearance stuff most of the time is like, just like little trinkets and stuff like that. But they had a Le Creuset. And I will say, I did accidentally think that it was way cheaper than it was. I saw this thing and I was like, oh, $138? Oh my gosh, $138 for a Le Creuset Dutch oven. But it wasn't that. It was actually 3 something. It was like 300, but they usually go for like over $400. So even $300 was a great deal. And they were so kind, and they gave us another 20% off. Again, did I need it? Not at all. But am I going to be using it for a long time? Yes. I'm like really excited. I've already made soup in it. I think it's a really quality item that I can keep forever. I really want to start making sourdough, so I'm going to use it for that. Keep it in pristine condition, because that was an investment. No, it's not an investment. Things that are not actually investing in the retirement funds is not an investment. It's just, that's how people justify things. I'm trying to justify it to you all. I like it. I wanted it, so I got it. So that brought our total expenses to $2,645.47, which meant we were over by $733.94. But it's okay, because we did make up some of this, and also we have a little bit of a buffer in our checking account. So we never like go negative. We have about a $1,000 checking account buffer, and so I use some of that buffer money to help offset some of this cost. All right, let's go over to savings now. So, in our savings, we have a bunch of different sinking funds. We are no longer putting money towards our emergency fund because we got to our goal that we wanted. We have $70 going to health and wellness. We have $4,202.54 that went to our house fund. This is because we are prioritizing this so that we can buy a new house this year. For gift savings, this is to pay for Christmas, to pay for friends' birthdays, baby showers, all that good stuff, $175. Car maintenance, $200, but like I said, I just had to replace my windshield and get that service, and that was way more than I thought. So I think I will need to start putting more into my car maintenance fund as well. Vacations, we put $300. Annual sub fees, we put $140. Fund, we put $100. Taxes, we put $125. I started doing our taxes because we got some of our W-4s back and everything like that. And we do owe a little bit to the state. We don't owe for federal. We have a little bit of a refund, but I don't want a refund really. I want it to be more even. So I think I also need to fix my extra withholding to be just slightly lower. In extra giving, we put aside $125. I originally had $250, but I just moved that $125 into taxes. And into our new tech fund, I put $100. And then this is where I bought my BTS tickets, and I will pay this back over the next few months to my own sinking fund. Now let's go into our investments. We are only investing in our Roth IRAs, and each Roth IRA this year has a limit of $7,500 that you can contribute. So we are contributing $625 a month to get to $7,500 by the end of the year. And in our debt, we only have student loans left for my husband. And on this, we pay the minimum plus a little bit extra to cover interest that accrues each month. All right, let's look at our cash flow pie chart. So even with a lot of our spending, like our expenses were way higher than they usually are, our long-term savings was still at 36.5% of the pie. I'm happy with that. And with our investments of 10.7%, that still puts us at over 7% going to saving and investing. So I'm not really that mad about the expenses that we had because we were able to put so much into our long-term savings still and put 10% into our investments. So that's why when you're like doing your budget and you're like thinking about it, I like to look at the cash flow summary more holistically so I can understand like how is my actual spending, even if it's over, how is it actually looking like in relation to the rest of the goals that I'm setting for myself. And in this case, like 22.6% is still really not that bad because when you add that to my bill section, 22 plus 13, we're sitting at about 35% total for bills and expenses together. Looking at it that way, it makes me feel a little bit better and makes me know that I can spend a little bit on myself and it'll be okay. Like life goes on and we'll be okay. All right, let's go over to February now. So now that I know how much income we made from our take-home pay, I was able to estimate that more accurately. And then let's go over to our bills. Our bills are all the same this month, except for our water is slightly up to $47.28, which is fine. I usually benchmark $50 a month, so this is still under my benchmark of $50 a month. In our expenses, I have $645 for groceries. I added that a little bit higher because we do have some like toiletry stuff that we need to buy. We need to buy cleaning supplies, and we also have a recurring subscription to Blue Land for laundry tablets and for dishwasher pods. So I had to go ahead and pay for those. So that lasts us about 3 months, and that's only like $20 each time, but I wanted to add a little bit extra to cover that. Gas and transportation, I put that at $200, and this is because I do need to get an oil change in my car. So my car, there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen this month. We're going to get the windshield changed next Monday. We're going to get some oil changes, so much. Therapy, $100. Gyms and subs, $89. Our spending, $175 for each. I also have a haircut this month, so I already know that some of my money is going to go towards that. Guilt-free spending, I brought up to $550 because we did spend quite a bit last month, and I just want to make sure that, we don't feel like constrained by that. And in miscellaneous, $25. I keep a zero-based budget, so I just put whatever I have left over into the miscellaneous category. In our savings and sinking funds, I kept them pretty much the same here. So $70 to health and wellness, $4,200 to house fund. Now, the reason why this was higher in the actual is because we are putting all of our interest money into the house fund specifically, so that it'll grow just a little bit faster. Gift savings 175, car maintenance 200. I probably need to change that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take from vacations, because vacations right now is pretty good. And I already bought my plane tickets to go to see BTS, and I only paid $11.20 because I had American airline points that I was able to use. So that's great. So I'm going to put $300 in car maintenance. Like I said, we have to also pay for our car insurance, but that would probably be like 130 of this, and then the rest of it will go into helping pay for like other car stuff. Annual sub fees, I'm keeping at 140. Fund 100, taxes 110, because I think in total we owe like 230 in state taxes. Extra giving 100, new tech 100. So I think everything looks good. Hopefully, car maintenance, I can get that up a little bit more. But right now, since we still have a good amount in our emergency fund, I'm not too worried about this, but I do want to like bring that up a little bit. In our investments, again, we're just maxing out our Roth IRAs. And in our debt, we are paying my husband's student loans. So yeah, apologies that was a little chaotic. Apologies that I had a phone call in between, but I hope you enjoyed your beverage with me as we went over my numbers and we see that I'm not 100% perfect with my finances. We spent way too much in January, and we already have some stuff that we have to pay for in February that is a necessity, getting my windshield replaced. So, that's just part of being an adult. Life comes at you fast and furious, and you have to be ready for it. So I am glad that we do have money in our emergency fund and that we can use it. I don't like getting money out of our emergency fund, but like that's the point of it. The point of it is so that when emergencies come up, we are not going into debt for it. So I'm trying to think of it as a form of gratitude to my previous self. Thank you for sacrificing a little bit of happiness of buying random purchases yesterday to make sure that you are set up financially future for today. Like, it's not easy to rein in those impulses, but we are doing it one step at a time. I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye y'all.